Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Gameplay's D&D Night.
27?
27.
7. We've been at this for a while. Last we saw our heroes, they had felled the dreaded dire troll, and in doing so, they noticed that Clapperclaw was gone. Tracking him down, they were led to a large marshy area that was surrounded by bullywugs and their kingdom. They found a way to go across and talk to the leader of this bullywug tribe, King Gullywarp the 13th, in exchange for safe passage across their lands, because they need to find Clapperclaw. They want to find him again. They need to be able to traverse this area of the Hither.
Yup.
They were tasked to find an escaped convict, a fairy dragon named Talavar. And as they were trying to search down this individual, they came across these beautiful albino pearlescent, this wolf, this large dire wolf-esque creature who wanted to help them. And they wanted to try and get food for this creature, as it said it needed some help getting food. And they thought that he was beautiful and gorgeous, and noticed that he was very war-torn. There's a lot of things that were sticking out of him. Finding a massive tower that was leaning, called the Slanty Tower, they see that something is aloft in a cage. And the wolf, turns out, had somebody that was watching his every back, watching his every move, his sister. Rory, the traveling wolf companion of our friends, told everyone of a story that he heard as a pup about the 2 silver winds that left destruction in their wake. Could these 2 wolves be the silver winds? Well, I don't know if we'll find that out, but Kai most certainly thought that it was a great idea to try and help feed these hungry beasts with utilizing his apple that he had forged, and tried to make a massive explosion of meat that he dubbed Meat Explosion. And it was most certainly was a meaty explosion that blasted both of these wolves back, knocking them against different things. The sister wolf getting a large shard of tree stuck in her side. Angrily, the 2 of them, looking at each other, are now spiraling atop, ahead of our heroes. What will happen? And that is where we begin tonight's adventure, everyone. You all see the 2 large wolves start spiraling above your heads, and noticing that the colors that are starting to coalesce around you, these winds that are starting to pick up, are almost a whitish silver as they start spiraling about.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, we don't need to be faffing about here. We need to grab Televar and probably skedaddle.
And get out of here very, very quickly. Yes. The question is how?
What, dear?
I would like to do something.
What would you like to do?
I'd like to take wild shape on one of the wolves.
Okay.
Okay. And then, if I can, just while in the spot that I am, because they're above us, correct?
Right.
Take shape of one of them, go to the ground in a submission pose, and howl a howl of submission.
Okay, roll a d20.
What's this doing?
She is doing a howl of submission,
16.
as wild-shaped as the wolves.
You all see Tralia take shape of one of the wolves as her body contorts, and right in front of you is almost an identical replica of the sister wolf, minus all of the injuries and everything like that. As you see her kneel submissively before the other two wolves. And she...
That,
You then hear, off in the distance, as you see the silver winds above you stop and disappear.
what the fuck just happened?
The fuck?
I don't know, but we take it and we go quickly. I have no idea.
Nick,
the
climb
sil-
up the tower and grab the dragon.
Okay, alright. I'm going to use my spider-like abilities to climb the tower, and
Oh my gosh, I think this might be the first time you're
It is.
actually using that.
it is. At least productively, yeah. First time I actually have an opportunity to really actually use it.
Okay. Roll your athletics check for that.
Wait.
Meanwhile, Leon is putting on mage armor just in case the wolves decide we have overstayed.
When doing the spider climb, you do get added bonus to the athletics check, I think.
Okay.
I think it's you roll on advantage.
So that's a total of 11 before any kind of advantage that you have in
Okay.
your mind.
I mean, advantage is just 2d20. So you pick whichever's highest.
Gotcha! I
Yeah.
did
Yep.
not actually know that. That had never been explained to me before.
That's never been explained to me either, so...
Okay, so it's 11.
Okay.
I wish that
You
were a
tried.
1 so I could
You all
re-roll it.
see the small hobbit-like companion of yours. Dun, 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 dun. As you start climbing, it's taking him a minute. It's not as quick as it could have been. This is really the first time that he's trying to scale anything this tall, because to put into light as to how large this slanty tower is, it's not necessarily leaning at a
90
steep
degree angle.
incline or anything. This is approximately, I would say, 40 feet tall. It's a 40-foot tower that is seemingly almost sinking into the ground, it looks like.
So am I climbing like this? Or
You're climbing
like
more
this?
like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even
So
more
what do you
gravity
all
is
wish
working
to
against
do
me than
as he
usual.
is doing that?
I just
I
got my
am
blades
watching
drawn.
the area to make sure those things don't come back.
Oh yeah, Leon was
Said-
putting on mage armor just in case.
Now, everybody got what I was trying to get across with what happened, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What
Oh
happened?
yes, it's just they accepted the submission. How
No.
I assume.
I don't
No?
know what the hell it... Okay, that I don't understand. What the hell... That's what I was asking. What the hell did Trolley even do?
She was trying to show submission as wolves or any kind of dog would typically do to an alpha. They
Mhm.
show submission, and typically a wolf or a dog is not going to attack if they show that they are subservient.
But it
To an
also sounds
alpha.
like something else called them off
Something else I
from a
think did.
distance.
Or that was the responding howling from those two.
Well, no, because he said off in the distance.
Yeah. So
So
makes
it
me
was
thi-
further off, which means something else called them.
so they may not be the alphas of their pack.
Oh boy.
However,
That's
I will
horrifying.
say that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes. Very
Maybe to
good.
get the job done. Yeah.
I had planned on
Pulling out minis.
yeah.
I mean, I was all prepped and ready for combat.
Yep.
Me too.
You put me in a situation with dogs, basically. Yeah.
I should have known better. I
Well,
should have known
honey,
better.
Mick, or Thane, I should say. Thane, I now very much understand why you told me not to get my hopes up about combat, because I forgot we're dealing with animals and we have a Trollia.
Yep.
If
We
there's
have a
a way
druid.
combat, I will.
We have a druid.
I was gonna open a portal. It was gonna be fun. But
You
no.
can still open a portal.
I
Oh,
could, and unleash the madness.
is this a situation you DM'd me about saying that you wanted to kick some wolf tails or something?
Yes, I said I wanted to whip some ass because I was just not happy with these things.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all
It's
good.
all good. It's
I
fun.
mean,
You
you
are
did what your
playing
character
your-
would have done. It's not like
Exactly.
I'm upset at you for
Mhm.
that. My character's upset that she doesn't get to just
No,
wail
it's
on them, though.
it's a very good thing that you
Yeah.
did what you did.
Trust
Yes.
me, I would have
Also-
been Wolf Chow.
Sarah, you really are playing Trollia.
Yep.
That is precisely what everyone expected to see from Trollia.
Yep.
Well,
That's a good thing.
I wanted my minis.
The only one upset at you is the GM. God is disappointed by the lack of combat.
I mean, he has
Blood
been
for the
disappointed
blood
by
of
our lack
God.
of
don't
combat.
get to use the things that I've spent money on.
No blood for the blood god today.
Oh, trust me,
Nah.
there's more opportunities for me tonight.
Justin probably knows, like GM to GM talk for a moment here. There is something WizKids released recently that I really want, and I know Justin probably wants too, on the subject of minis.
Oh,
You've seen the Tiamat mini, haven't you?
oh yeah. I'm not spending that much money on her.
it is not cheap.
No, it is
I'm
not
not
cheap.
spending that much because I can take that same money and buy a case of one of the new mini sets and have
Yeah.
so many.
But
minis
it's
to
so
play
big.
with. But it is very big and it is very nice. However, it's also $500.
Oh,
350 actually.
The hell?
After Knoxville taxes, no.
Yeah, no,
I
still
mean,
350.
are they getting
Wouldn't it be
around
closer to
tax
Like
$400
or
somehow?
something.
Because tax
Oh,
would be up
expensive.
$35,
Yeah,
so it'd be closer to 400.
yeah, close to it, but
That's still a
Still,
lot
Just
of money.
expensive.
heinous.
That's like 2 car bills. No way.
yeah, still pricey.
No, I'm not doing that. Anyway, so you get up to, you all see that Nick has reached the cage, and you see a somewhat conscious, but verging on unconscious fairy dragon that has a twiddled mustache. And he has a sash along him that has small bags and a and what looks like a holster for a sword, but the sword is not there.
Hmm.
Hello there. You all right?
Julie, is that you?
No, I'm not. I'm known by many names, but not Julie. Julie's not one of them. No.
Oh, oh, You see his eyes widen as he clambers back for a moment.
How did you get up here?
Who are you?
For now, we'll say friend.
How are you? How are you climbing on the wall?
I have some abilities.
I dare say that is fascinating. I am Sir Talivar of the 7th Brigade.
Pleasure. Would you like to
Yes.
get out?
Oh, most definitely. Please, I would love some help.
Okay, so what do I notice as far as the construction of the cage and...
You notice that the construction of the cage is very kind of like a grid and like this, to where you can see inside of the cage, but the holes of the grid pattern are too small for even a fairy dragon to escape out of. It's almost as if it was designed to keep
A
him
fairy
in.
dragon.
Is it made of metal, wood,
Iron.
iron?
Oh God, iron.
Would you say iron of a cold variety?
Uh, it's a very rusty looking iron.
Hmm.
Is there any
Gotcha.
way I can determine, maybe with a perception check, of opening it up, disabling a lock, or what have you?
Roll perception for me.
Oh boy, that is a 19.
Ooh.
You see that there is a small, what looks like some kind of lock on the front of the cage. It looks like something could go in place of it.
Everything all right?
Oh,
You've been
there's
up there a
a
minute.
there's a sort of lock on it. Trying to figure out if I can disable it.
Bring it down. Maybe we
Um,
could do something with it.
Yeah.
Do I have any way of lowering the cage?
It is on a suspension pulley, but the lever mechanism looks like it is inside the tower.
Okay, can I climb inside the tower from where I am?
Absolutely, yes. There's a
Okay.
window.
I'm going to climb into the window.
As you climb inside the window,
Cautiously.
roll another athletics check for me.
Cautiously climb into the window.
That must be noted.
Noted heavily. I am climbing with all the caution of the wind. Well, no. Far more caution than the wind does. Anything at all.
You are creeping with the caution of a scared spider.
So that's a 13.
As you start climbing inside, you notice that the crank pull is right there.
Okay.
But you also hear something from within the tower.
Oh.
What does it sound like?
Almost a breathing of sorts.
Does it sound like it's coming from above or below me?
Below.
I'm getting serious smog vibes.
Meanwhile, while this is going on, Leon's trying to find the entrance since I don't think we saw it on our way here.
Probably not.
That's a good boy.
Since we just saw him climb through a window, Leon's trying to figure out a way to go and get through from the bottom.
Ooh, I'm bleeding.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh
No,
boy.
there is blood for the blood god.
Well, there we go. The DM has his blood.
Kalima.
You need a band-aid?
No, I don't even know how that happened. I must have cut myself. It's a
Shit.
small little.
Am
It's
I
nothing.
within 30 feet of any party member?
No.
No.
That is a 40-foot tower you climbed.
I'm afraid Charlie and I are not that tall, Mick.
And as for you, Leon, you all do not see an entrance because you notice that some of the tower is in the ground.
Oh.
Understood.
So I'm
Can I-
going to
Well.
climb back out and descend the tower.
Okay.
Quietly and choosing the same route that I chose up, so that, well, based on the logic that that route clearly didn't disturb whatever beings inside the tower, so...
Okay.
Am I rolling again, or is it same roll from...
No, you just
Okay.
you just climbed down.
Alright, I go over to my party. Guys,
So
there...
what was that about?
Well, there's a crink. It is inside the tower. And there is something living in the tower.
Did you see what it was?
Nope, it was on a floor somewhere below the floor that I entered the tower through.
Orgal looks up. Can I see the bully?
Roll
asking
perception.
Does he get some sort of advantage given that I'm going to point out the entire pulley line?
Yes, you get advantage.
So as I describe the pulley to you guys, I'm also pointing the entire structure of the pulley out.
Okay, it's probably good that I get advantage, because that's not going to be too good. Okay, that's better. 20 on that.
Yes, you can see it because where he pointed to and where you kind of look at it from the ground, you can see the pulley.
Orgal takes a moment, taps his chin, pulls out his bow.
Okay.
Anybody feel lucky about catching this?
Catching.
How about
Leon?
this? I can
Hey,
do
I
something
volunteer
completely
something.
else.
I take off my cloak. Everyone grab a corner.
No, that seems a bit drastic. Do you have a sword or something to cut what I assume to be a cord up there?
Is it
I
a
do.
cord, Mick? Or was it a chain?
Was it cord or chain that it was suspended by?
You never asked, but
I mean, I saw it very clearly.
you did, but you never asked. But it was a chain.
Yeah, is this
So
chain?
that puts out the whole bow thing in the first place.
Damn.
That puts out the sword thing, too.
Yeah.
Do you have a hammer of some sort?
I mean,
something
just
that
my
could brute force
artifact. I don't really have a
Oh.
real hammer aside. No offense.
Oh,
no.
How dare you?
I take out
Real hammer.
my last green apple and I morph it into a hammer. A fairly strong, sturdy hammer.
Okay.
Well, you'll
Hammer.
probably want this, Morgul, as Leon touches you and casts with real quick spider climb. You can now walk up surfaces and can hang from the ceiling.
All right. So, somebody hand me that hammer, and I'll just go take care of this.
I hand over the hammer.
Yoink.
We might want to go and, just in case, grab the cloth like you suggested. I don't know if he'll be able to break the chain and grab it in time.
Yeah, Morgal might honestly not think about that.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Tip.
So, yeah, I take
This
the hammer.
is the most bleeding tiny cut I have ever seen.
You
Probably
good, man?
from the. I was gonna say, did
Yeah,
you?
no, it's
Band-Aids?
like it's just barely. It's just the tiniest little. I don't even know where it came from.
If you want
But-
to go get a band-aid, we can wait.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
like,
a band-aid
take
group.
a
We
minute,
have
man.
band-aids.
I would
Yes.
hope you have band-aids.
No, we never buy
well,
band-aids, but I
We
got some
use
for
a lot of them when we have them. So, like, look at this. Look at this tiny little thing. It's like a little fairy dragon poked me with its sword.
Well, Morgul, good luck. Quickly, we'll just kind of grab this and don't.
We have
don't
total
stop.
faith in you.
Here,
Just
Look.
don't make it fly off in that direction. Try to aim downwards.
Yeah,
Hmm?
gotcha.
Oh my god.
What?
Ew.
Also,
It's nothing. Look at how tiny it is.
you said there was someone inside Miknik.
Look at it.
We
What?
might want to go and keep an eye on that window in case we disturb whoever's inside.
Yes, we should definitely keep an eye
Oh,
on the
don't
window
you
in case we
dare.
disturb whoever
Don't
is
you
inside. I am
dare.
saying all of that you just said again
Don't.
because Izzy didn't have her ears on.
Mhm.
Lovely.
Sarah, what did you do?
She put a band-aid over my hairy ass leg.
Oh, it's gonna hurt.
Oh, that's gonna stink.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a bitch.
Yep.
And I'm
So,
gonna have a nice bald spot there for a little while.
So I'm gonna walk up the side of the building then. Do you need me to make
Athletics check.
No,
Yeah.
it's
a
straight
spider
fine.
climb?
Oh,
Spider
Spider
climb doesn't
climb.
say anything.
You don't have to athletics check with spider
okay,
climb.
fine. Then I'm not checking for that. How much do you make noise?
I mean, I
That'd
could
be
stealth
stealth,
that if you want me to.
Stealth that for me.
Surprise, it's what I'm good at. Well, even if that weren't a nat 20, I get a +7 on that, so 27.
Oh, well, fine. You climb the damn building. Good for you.
Just
Now the
Morgul doing the fucking...
The creep.
Yeah.
You see Morgul just creeping up the side of this building,
Look
taking
at the top of this mascara wand. Just does
The
that not look
hammer.
like a lethal weapon?
As you take the hammer, what do you wish to do?
So I see the pulley, right? Essentially, like
Uh-huh.
how the... Okay. I'm going to use it to try to essentially dislodge the pulley so I can get the chain loose.
Okay.
So,
You hear
I don't know
Sir
exactly.
Talavar say, now, excuse me, large fellow, how are you climbing on...
Don't worry about it. Magic.
Okay. I dare say, please don't harm me. I did not do anything to you.
I have no intention of hurting you. I'm just gonna get you loose. Just hold on tight for a minute.
Meanwhile, Leon is holding on with all his strength against this poor piece of cloth below them.
Do you need me to make a strength check or something? Just.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, this is my die tonight. Let's see. Is that just a strength check or well, I guess it'd be a strength check. So
Yeah, just a strength
20
check.
24, nat 19 on die.
You see Morgul just as it
Just suddenly hear this
Can we
poor
catch
fairy
it?
dragon screaming.
that's the
his head
issue.
off.
Sir Talavar on the inside of this goes to the top of the cage as he is just fast going 40 feet down as it slams into the dirt.
We had a net out for that.
Yeah, they were doing the fucking tarp
Oh,
thing.
you were?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to
Yes.
probably make a strength check on that. So
Morgul just casually walking down after.
You might need to make a strength check on your cloak or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I
That
think that
was a standard 10.
Oh.
I got a 18.
it goes down onto the ground. Perfect square hole directly
Well.
through it.
Well,
It appears
Leon, I
that
hope you know how to mend.
I do not, but I do know how to sew. So
I meant the spell.
no,
I
I do
can't.
not know how the spell mend.
I have mending as a cantrip. That's done.
Oh, hallelujah.
seems like a very clerical thing to do, Morgul says as he's walking down to shrine.
Just a casual stroll
Careful,
downtown.
that window might have some
Faces
angry
past.
visitor.
So
No, you were
I go
wanting to
over
check.
to the cloak and cast mending on it.
Not
The
even
cloak
checking
is
it.
mended.
Okay.
You see the threads as they
Yay! Now let's
There you are,
break
Moxie.
open the Let's break open the box, shall we?
Assuming he's not concussed.
You all right in
Assuming
there?
what?
Leon,
What'd you say? Assuming what?
He's not concussed.
Oh, well, I guess
Are
we'll have
you
to
all
find
right
out.
in there? McNick calls into the cage.
I need to
Leon,
see if he is all right.
Leon is watching the window. He does not want any surprise visitors.
Fair.
What happened?
You took a bit of a tumble.
Well, that's delightful.
You're on the ground now.
I can see that. I have dirt all over me.
All right. Well,
Hey,
does anyone see a way to get this open, or shall we just carry the cage?
use the hammer.
Or shall we just carry the cage into the...
Coming on down with it.
Kidding
No.
me? I didn't do anything to you.
No one wants to carry the cage into the kingdom?
I mean, I could.
Well,
But,
Morgul
Well,
can.
now let's talk this out. Hearing you say, "Oh, let's take him to the kingdom." Now, what precisely do you mean?
Right, Morgul, let's take him in.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Now,
it can be
hang
the
on.
problem.
Let's not be too hasty. There's no reason that this has to.
As far as I'm
happen.
concerned, there's no reason for you to come out of the
This way.
cage right now. You are perfectly safe inside there, after all.
Absolutely.
We're just going to bring you to safety is all.
Oh,
That's
okay.
very vague. We do
Leon,
know
shut
where
the
we are.
Leon Hutch.
Well, I could help you.
I'm sure you could. Morgul?
I have
Yep.
a multitude of skills.
Still making my way downtown. Come on, give me a moment. And vertical
Hit me a
again.
step, man.
Hey, do you want me to come down quietly, or do you want me to make a bunch of noise? 'Cause that's
No, that's
trying to-
perfectly fair,
That's
yes.
fair.
Right, shall we?
Yep.
Yes,
we shall.
Leon is keeping an eye on
What?
that
I-
window.
Dare say, I am Sir Talivar of the 7th Regiment.
Yes, we're aware.
We know
If
who
you
you are.
If you
I work for Lord Oberyn. I dare say you let me go now.
Whoa,
You
whoa,
work
whoa,
for.
whoa,
Wait,
whoa,
wait. Pump the brakes.
Everybody hold on. Everybody hold on now. Whoa.
Do you have proof of this?
Do I have proof? Do you not see my uniform?
We are not familiar with the uniform of Oberyn.
Well, he does have a small sigil that is engraved into his tiny little fairy dragon pelt.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So we were told. So
We do have a bit of a deal.
then why does a bullywug chieftain want you?
Let's just say that he was not wanting to pay some of his fair share. So
Ah.
I
I
see.
So he
Exactly.
took you prisoner.
well, not precisely. Me and my regiment tried to exact some,
Payment.
dare you say it,
Levies?
justice, some fortitudinous. We had to tax him.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did not wish to pay his fair share, so we were going to go and talk to Lord Oberyn, and he did not necessarily like the sound of that, and in doing so, I don't know where the rest of my regiment went, and he said that I was dealing with her.
Her.
Her as in whom?
I think we know who.
Ah.
That her?
End of name is Lorna.
Yes.
Right.
Ah.
We have a bone to pick with that one too.
We do.
So, that wouldn't have been a good trade no matter what.
Indeed, Leon,
was-
indeed.
Yeah, that
So,
would not have been a good idea.
shall we pay your lord a visit then?
That sounds like a good idea. And Morgul, why don't we go ahead
yes.
and break him out now?
Sounds like a
Morgul the
plan.
Hammer.
Quick question. Who had you tied up? I don't imagine the wolves could operate a cage like this. Or operate a pulley.
Oh, you haven't.
We're new here.
Yeah, no.
Oh, well, actually, they were a rather odd gang of misfits.
Gangs.
Yes.
Did they happen to look like kids?
No, they did not.
Okay, good.
We'd have to
As
go
a-
scold a bunch of kids at Dory Ember's home.
That's what I was worried about, but no.
Well, I
They
assume they're in the
called
towers still, like
themselves
Nick said.
something. What did they call themselves? The League of Malevolence?
League of Malevolence.
It's new. That's one we haven't heard.
They said that they were going to collect my bounty.
That would probably be with more.
Gullywolf
But
the
probably
13th does have a bounty out on you, but
Yes,
Oh.
not really going to be worth much now.
I imagine they were probably scared off by the guard
Howling.
dogs you had, shall we say?
No,
The two silver winds.
they were not my guard dogs.
Oh, I'm
They
very
were-
well aware, but they definitely kept their eyes on you.
Oh, I'm
Yep.
aware. I was fighting them off. I managed to lodge my sword in one of them.
Ah.
ooh, that would explain.
Well, I'm sorry, but we can't get that back for you.
I am aware.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Maybe
imagine.
Oberon will get
you
that
would-
going. Working on breaking up open the door now.
Yeah,
One
Leon's
good strength check ought to do.
Like, how you want me to handle that, Justin? Just strength check or?
Yeah, just a general.
All right,
and
gotcha.
Leon
One good
is
thing ought to do it.
keeping an eye on the tower at this point, since I assume we've moved some distance away from
I'll
it.
take that. Non-nat 20.
As you see it kind of collapse in on itself as it is still held together.
All right. Should I go again?
No,
Hang on.
Or is it like?
what I mean is that it opened, but
Oh, okay, good.
it
So
collapsed
it became
into
metal
a-
shavings.
into a
Okay.
smaller form of itself.
Good.
So we can open
Leon
the
will
cage
pick
now.
that up.
What?
What?
What? What
Hmm?
just
What are
happened? I
you-
missed something.
What are you all planning on doing with me?
You're gonna
let's
take
try
us
to
to
let you.
your lord.
We
And
need to go
why
see
would
Lord
you?
Ogren.
For what reason?
Well, we have a beef with the same person you have a beef with.
To mention,
And
Lord
what is my
Bullywug,
beef?
The coven. We have a problem with the coven.
Now they are not to be.
So we're gonna go to your lord with you and try and discuss things with them and see if we can maybe get some help or at least some info, you know.
Also, the guy who literally has a hit on your head, we probably want to attest to.
Yep.
probably not the best idea to go and head back with
Now,
you.
the
then.
town of Downfall they are rather a nice bunch of people there. Gullywarp, on the other hand, is a little skewed in his mind.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, definitely.
Just a
However,
little.
they are not fond of what's been happening around Downfall either, as of recently.
Well, then clearly, some help would be appreciated.
Yep.
And what do you all plan on doing about this?
Bring about the
End.
yeah.
Okay, well, it will be interesting to see what you say to Lord Oberyn. I dare say this should be quite funny. Okay, well, if you truly wish to discuss this with him, I'm assuming that you have a plan of
I mean,
some
considering
sort.
we helped liberate somebody of his order, I don't think we're gonna have too much trouble getting an audience with him.
And whom?
You?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Morgal
Put you
just
back in the
looming
cage.
over.
Sir Talavar, there is another major issue that needs to be discussed. We need to discuss the healing of an eminent treant you might be familiar with. His name is Coriember.
I've heard the name mentioned
We've
before.
met his brother. We've met with his brother Doriember recently, and something
That
here.
strange creature?
Yes, that strange individual. Turns out something
Doriember
here
is a
is.
child napper.
No.
Excuse me.
He is wanted on a few different accounts for napping children, taking them and keeping them with himself. Very
Now,
unprovoking, yes.
now you listen here, sir. That is very inflammatory language, and we have proof that he did not steal any of those children.
Those children went with him
You
willingly
may
for
take that
protection.
up with Lord Oberyn.
Then I
It is
will.
not of any of my
Very
decisions
well.
to be.
Take us there, please.
And if it is none of your business, then you shut your trap about it. That's very uncouth.
Now,
Yes.
now.
I
I dare say you are quite the mouthy
Quite
one.
what? Yes.
You
Yes, I am. You wish to
see
take it up
here.
with me?
Do you see this
Moxie,
sigil? Then that means you
let's
speak not
calm
to,
down.
to me in these types of fashions.
Then speak to me with authority and I will understand better. At the moment, you're a
I
quivering
said
coward.
nothing of the sort to you. I merely told you about a criminal.
He is not a criminal.
Anyways, shall we be going?
Yes.
We
Yes.
shall, before those wolves come back.
Yes, that would be preferable before they come back.
And Leon is
Fine.
picking up the contraption that Talavar was withheld in.
Fine. Well, I haven't done this in quite a while, and I don't know if I can do it again. Oh, let's see. Fair winds, take me here. As you see wind start whipping around you all, you see him take something that was lodged in the ground as he, oh, yes, there it is, as he throws it into the wind, and you see a portal open inside the winds. Please.
Enter we go.
Let's go.
All right.
As you all enter, you see that you are now in a grand throne room that is surrounded by plant life that is growing around stained glass windows that are almost in a cathedral like hall. As you see what looks like a throne made of vines that comes down from the ceiling into a large bulb.
Fancy dicks.
Hmm. Nothing less for an archfey.
Lord Oberyn, you have some travelers that wish to have an audience with you. It is I, Sir Talavar of the 7th Regiment. You see the bulb that is hanging as it starts coming down in front of you all as it opens up like a blossom. You see the whites and pinks of the flowers as a sweet scent comes out of the blooming petals. It smells sweet. And you see a rather well-dressed man that was inside look up from reading as he adjusts his reading spectacles that he used, as he pulls them down. Yes. Who might you be?
Moxie.
We are the Blood Moon Warriors, here to see you about some urgent matters in the state of your realm.
He closes the book as you see a vine come and wrap around it as it takes it. Thank you. Blood Moon Warriors?
Yes, my lord.
And what is a blood moon?
Put simply, we are all born under an auspicious red moon, linked to the cinder flame.
Interesting. And why are you here?
We were told that we would need to see you about finding out what has made an esteemed colleague or an esteemed friend of ours extremely ill, to the point of, Tralia, if you would please introduce Corey Ember in his current state.
I'm still a dire wolf, by the way.
Oh no! Oh dear!
You can wild shape back.
Jeez!
Just we turn
apologies,
around and
my lord.
notice all of a sudden that
You all,
No.
you all turn around as you turn over to Tralia, trying to get her to do something, and you all just see a giant white
I'm
wolf.
sorry, my lord. I forgot that I did
Tralia,
not
if you
realize
would
our...
please.
I would like to make a dramatic statement. I go up to this dude and sniff around him, and then as I'm going behind his back, transform.
You may
into
not have
myself.
enough physical space to do that.
You don't
I
have the
will
space to
try
do
my
that.
best.
Okay.
That's not wise, Tralia. You know better.
Oh Lord.
What is going?
just
Our
let it
druid.
happen now.
My apologies, my lord. This is our...
As she.
Tralia Willowby, adopted daughter of Corey Ember the Treant.
Yes, we've met before.
Wait,
Wait.
What?
I'm sorry. Wait, what?
I'm good with faces, and I don't remember yours.
Now,
You
Tralia, I
wouldn't-
know you're a private person, but still.
You wouldn't remember. You were
Ah,
so
she was
small.
sapling. Got ya.
Can I touch his face?
What?
I barely understand this now either.
What are you doing?
Seeing if I can hear a memory of you.
This...
I dare say
Tralia,
okay.
you may wish to stop.
Let's say she's not of her original senses and leave it at that. Tralia, could you
Yes,
please show
the
him
other-
the twig?
Did I
Yes.
meet you as a child?
Tralia,
Yes.
please.
Corey
Tralia!
Ember showed me you when you were a baby. I did not know what to make of you when you were so small. I don't exactly know where you came from. He wanted to know your whereabouts.
Which, Morgul, my friend Morgul's statement brings me to the next order of importance, which is that the Coven of the Hourglass has stolen things from us.
You're not the only one.
Figured not.
Figured figured likely as not that we weren't, but we've been close to finding the one whose name starts with a B, because I'm not going to say her name. We'd been close to finding her, and then we found your Sir Talavar in a cage, having been put in irons by King Gullywarp the 13th.
No,
Oliver,
that isn't true.
Well, having been imprisoned, he then escaped and was put in a cage.
do tell. Where have you been? I was captured by King Gullywarp the 13th. He would not pay what you told him to, sire. And you've been missing from your post for how long? A week and a half, sir. Talivar, take him away. You see guards grab Talivar as they take him.
Uh,
To be fair, it is not entirely his fault.
It matters not. This court is to be kept in the utmost order that it can be.
I mean, fair, but
If there is a
Right,
weak
whatever.
change within my ranks, then everything becomes weak.
And why not take care of the water that makes it rust?
And do tell, how do we go about doing that?
Well, clearly Gullithorpe was the problem.
Gullywarp is not the problem. The problem resides on the other side of Downfall.
What is on the other side of Downfall?
Her lands.
I suppose you
The
mean Lorna.
I
I did not say her name. I only said the after.
I'm
anyways,
curious as to why you all are not utilizing her name.
Well, we've heard of Feywild before.
there's much
use
power
of a
in a
name
name.
has a capacity to summon things.
Yes.
Though I'm starting to believe that fear of the name might also cause just as much bad.
Fear of the name is a problem, but then you also have to deal with the ramifications of using the name.
Though I wonder if such things should apply within the court of Oberon.
It does not.
There we go. Okay,
Very
we can...
well.
Bavlorna is the first of, I believe, 3 that we must find and neutralize, as it were.
Ms. Brightstraw has always been a bit of a problem. However, it would appear as if her and her sisters have been up to something as of late.
Yes, they have. We ran into one of their errand keepers, Madame Mugwort, in Fablereese, and dispatched her, and found several letters.
You all killed Madame Mugwort.
Yeah, it was quite the event.
Yes.
I was not there, but they did, yes.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Can't claim much to that.
Color me intrigued.
Well, we are looking to see if we can at least get information from you.
And what information would you like?
Anything you have about the coven that might be useful in taking them down?
You don't understand.
I understand that I can't get drunk anymore because of them.
I can't sing and I can't play instruments.
I cannot create art. Makes me
I've
angry.
lost a great deal to the Coven. Their powers have grown across Prismere as of late.
Then you clearly see the problem.
Since something has happened within my high court, meaning my high court, I don't necessarily mean mine here. I mean
The
of
Court of the
all
Archfey.
of the Archfays. Yes.
Speaking
Our
of, I expected more here.
Oh, there's plenty more. You're just in my personal chambers.
We're more or less in the visiting area.
Yes, this is the drawing room.
Fair enough.
As you see, he does this, and as you look around you, you see more petals that bend down, and as they do, you see that you all have been standing on a large flower the entire time, and around you is an entire topiary room filled with towers that are coming out of different blossoming trees
Well, there's
and
your more,
flowers.
Morgul.
But in my mouth, alright.
Something about the Garden of the Gods springs to mind, looking around this.
We are merely in my realm. However, Prismere is much more than just hither, thither, and yon. It is the primary domain of our most, how should I put it? She's the glue that keeps us all together, Zybilna. Zybilna's domain is Prismere.
At some
However,
point, we'd been told we needed to find her as well to deal with the witches.
that would be impossible.
Oh? Why is that?
She is gone.
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 Just not in
And
the
where was
realm or
she?
not alive?
We are unsure. That is why I
And-
said that I think there is a problem within the court of the Archfey.
I see.
Ah,
We
That's
are to
trouble.
keep this tight-lipped. If
Understood.
the rest of the realms were to know that the High Court of the Archfey, especially with someone as esteemed as Zybilna herself, missing, everything would fall to ruin.
Well, I am most honored that you would share such information with us.
I do not necessarily share it with you. I share it in the presence of Coriumber.
Ah. Well,
Don't
an
know
honor all the
very
same.
much about your father, do you, dear?
I did.
Coriumber is much more than what you think he is. I'm sure that you'll come to realize. You see all of these blossoms here in my realm. They all stemmed from Coriumber's father. Many,
Oh, wow.
many years ago. This realm, these plants, this is where he is buried. With his death brought great life. But with looking at the way that Coriember is now, it distresses me greatly. Coriember is not tied to the Fey realm necessarily anymore. He wanted his roots to be spread throughout the material plane. I don't know why he likes the material plane so much. I'm assuming it was probably you that made him stay there. He used to come back and forth all the time. But his disappearance and Zybilna's is very troubling to me. I sense that there's something greater going on, and it all stems from the Coven themselves.
Yeah, it tracks.
Whom we are quite happy to simply go and remove.
If you can do it, by all means, please do so. I've tried on multiple occasions to siege their homes, and each attempt has failed as of recently.
Something tricky. The power of 3. And we as a group are a double set of 3. Therefore, we are a threat to them.
Yes.
Whatever that means. I'm not terribly versed in how their magic works.
I would have to speak to the rest of the court in order to see if they think that that might have some kind of relevancy to it. You have more questions, I'm assuming, for me. Do ask them. I am very busy.
Do you have an idea of what the Coven might be trying to experiment on creatures like fairy dragons?
No, you're going to have to be more specific. I would need to know exactly what they have been doing.
They stole his companion, whose name is Roderick, and he is a fairy dragon.
That could be any number of things. They could just be trying to stoke the fires of your ire, as it were.
Make us reckless.
That does tend to track quite well.
Anyone else? Any further questions?
To restore Coriember, what would you do?
In order to restore Coriember, you're going to need to figure out exactly what that green energy that is tied to him, what that substance is.
And you
Find
have
the
no
source of that, end it, and I'm sure that it will restore him.
What is the Yellow Watcher?
You need not worry yourself about that.
We've run into it once already.
It will not harm you if you do not provoke it, if you do not see it, if you do not get within its line of vision. Just stay away from it.
Been an odd question here. What's your familiarity with the Witchlight Carnival?
Not very much. Why?
Out of curiosity, more than anything.
I've been a time or two. I know that it is currently under the watch of Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
Who come from a realm called Shadowfall.
Shadowfell.
Fell.
The shadow
Shadowfell.
fell. I
Mhm.
know. Nothing of the sort of that.
Perhaps you know.
Why do you ask?
Curiosity.
And
Because
curiosity.
originally the carnival, we've been told, was run by the Coven. Or was owned by the Coven.
The Coven has their hands in a great many things, it seems, as of late.
You also...
The Coven, each of them represents something different. Each of the sisters represents a different facet of time. they have found some way to mess with things as of late. I do not know which of the sisters represents which facet of time, but all that I can really tell you is that they are very keen on the concept.
I see.
They've also welcomed the Cinder Flame and his court recently.
Perhaps you can tell
The
us
Cinder
something.
Flame matters not to me. He is a problem for the material plane.
Oh, it will
And-
reach much further than the material plane very, very quickly if he's not dealt with.
I'm more
Yeah.
curious if you know of any dealings of Aenon. He
Aeon.
supposedly Aeon. He came to the Feywilds and somehow got out, but we don't know of what he did here.
Aeon.
You may know him as Alder.
Oh. Him.
Yes, him.
Yeah.
Yes, you might say that I am aware of him, as he
What did he
points to a rock that is inside one of his garden beds, as he brings the petals down over to where you all are. You see that the entirety of this tower that you all are on moves throughout it, going past waterfalls and babbling brooks as it comes up to this lake bed where you see almost this Stonehenge-esque ruins, and you see this rock that has a chunk taken directly out of it.
Why is this reminiscent of the cosmic gift that we've been told about?
I don't know why he took it, but he barged in here claiming that he was going to help me with some things I'd been teaching him. I'd been giving him some books to read. He just seemed like a very studious individual. And then one day he barged in, and with a large flash of light, this was gone. So was
What
he.
was it exactly?
This is a compass.
A plain old compass, or just a compass of the Feywilds?
This is a planar compass.
That partially explains how he's able to find us so easily.
Yeah.
And how he was able to escape the Feywilds.
Mm-hmm.
I would greatly like it returned.
When we get
I'm
around to
Just like you.
fighting him.
Any further questions from you?
What sort of books was he reading?
I merely gave him books about the different realms. Why?
Well,
He said he was
Aeon is
looking for
not...
something in particular. Something called the Black Spire.
We've heard this
The
more than
Black
once.
Spire is in Shadowfell.
Yep.
It is a very unpleasant place to be, and the two current owners of the Witchlight Carnival hail from that realm. Which puts the longevity of the carnival in jeopardy.
That matters not to me.
It is also
Kinda
where
right.
the Coven have been wreaking an excessive amount of havoc and where they came after us.
Yep.
I wish to see Zybilna again. See if you can find her whereabouts.
perhaps you could let us know where she was last seen, what might have happened.
Her
Your own
court.
personal story.
She never left her towers unless she were going to traverse the plains. She loved doing that. Seeing her different patrons.
Her patrons on the material plane are in danger. So,
Well, then you need to find her immediately. I wish to see the court back up to its standard.
one last question, and you're not going to like it, but why, amidst all of this, are you a block of cold stone?
I must keep my composure. What is so funny?
Your composure.
Yes.
Why aren't you a bit more angry about this?
What do you expect me to do?
You are an archfey of immense power and influence. You can do something besides sit and do nothing.
You're Oberon.
I was told stories of you as a child. The great king of the fairies. Of the fey folk.
Like he just retired, just sits on his butt and has been like handed.
Silence your tongue. If you wish to see ire, if you wish to see the fire that is me, test me again. I lost something very dear to me.
What was
Those
that?
crones took
Why don't you go get it?
the only thing I've ever loved.
Oh. That means... Okay. I get it.
Do you
I think I do.
care to fill your friends in?
Has anyone seen Titania around?
My dearest Titania is gone.
That
Lord
makes...
Oberon.
Like
That-
gone,
Ah, goodness.
like dead gone, or just gone?
Stolen, kidnapped, etc.
Then why
Hostage.
get her? Why are you just sitting here?
It's a hostage situation. He can't move against them without causing possible
If
harm to
I-
them.
Am to lay a finger on the coven. They said they will end her.
Then we'll
Okay.
do it for you.
So we are disconnected from you in any known capacity. Let us be your vehicle.
We will exact vengeance for you, and if they've been true to their word and she is retrievable, we will get her back.
You know what it's like.
Do this.
What was that, Justin?
You would do this for me.
In
Probably
return for
Of course. Without
In
hesitation.
return for what?
We have things we want to get back too. There are so many people across probably many planes who have lost things to the Coven. Removing them removes a great threat to life as we know it.
And I
Perhaps
wouldn't
not
be
as great as the Cinder
surprised
Flame, but
if
a
Corey
great
Ember would
threat.
also be helped.
that's what, regardless of my eyes, I would be willing to help in order for you to find out more information about how we can restore.
Or
I can't just sit
Taking-
idly by and let you grieve the loss of your wife like this. It's not right.
we
I
will
know
be
what it's
your
like to
vehicle.
take it.
We just ask for some help.
You know what
Disconnected
it is
help.
like to lose someone
I
you
do.
love.
I look pointedly at Morgul.
All too well.
I'm carrying the remains of somebody I love. Yes.
I've had people just plain walk out of my life and not care about me. So,
You see Lord Oberyn, you see a small tear that starts to well in his eye as it dissipates.
we children of the Red Moon are rather fatalistically marked.
Yeah, how should we
We
put it?
understand very well.
We have a target on our backs for a reason. But we will not know that reason in its entirety.
We're going to stop at nothing to defeat this coven. All we ask is your help. Any way that
Aye.
you can.
I will help you. But if you do not get my Titania back,
Then we will be dead. Because
I
we're going to
will
die trying.
kill you myself.
Then by any means necessary, we must bring her back.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold a meeting with the Summer Court. I will speak to the Eladrin and see how they wish to go about giving you any tools that you may need for this journey. Do you
That
know
is
of any of the other Archfey that are here?
the Lord of the Bats. Enzai Bilna were the only names that we got aside from yours.
Very well. I am going to see if I can get in contact with the Summer Court. In the meantime, you are free to traverse my library.
Thank you.
Oh boy.
As he takes you up,
Leon looks like a kid in a candy shop right now.
as he takes you up into a different part of the realm, as you see a large blossom that opens up, and you see just rows and rows of books that are lined within this giant blossoming petal that seems to go on forever.
Now, Leon, please try to keep your drool.
But I haven't seen this many books since.
Yes, yes,
Thank you, Lord Oberyn.
yes,
You are
Leon.
most
I
gracious.
understand. Just keep your drool inside you.
He works in a library for a living. Yours dwarfs his by a lot.
Very well.
Can I tap him on the shoulder?
Yeah.
And be like, do you have any audiobooks? I never really learned how to.
Audiobooks.
Oh,
Oh.
dear! Tralia can't
Roy is
read.
illiterate. Oh my god. That
Well,
would
to
be
be
not
fair, I can't
illiterate.
read at the moment either, and that's so distressing. I can't read any of these.
Aside from Braille, you would be able to read Braille. That would be the thing.
I
Yeah.
have books both in Braille, and I have what I call speaky books.
Speaking.
Speaky books.
I will browse the standard section. I will now take my leave.
You see that
Thank
he,
you.
as he said speaky books, he just said it very under his breath and
Yes.
with a very regal face. Speaky books. As you see him take out a copy of a book and hand it to Tralia, he says, I read this one sometimes in my spare time. It is one of my favorites. It is a speaking book.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh.
So, Micknick would like to look for any kind of books.
As Trollia looks on the cover, you see that it is the title of the book is The Big Little Worm.
Oh my god.
Oh, can I open it? I want to know what it sounds like. Or
As
open
you
it.
open the book, you see that a blossom comes out of the front of it and forms tulips.
Is it a tulip?
It is literal tulips.
Tulip.
As it starts, a long time ago, there was a big world. As it starts reading the book.
That's amazing.
I like it.
So Micknick's going to look for any kind of books that might aid him in healing his party.
Feel free to browse them as you will. I will return in due time. Do not make a mess.
Leon,
Understood, Lord Oberon.
put every book back that you pull.
Oh, by the way, you all are
Back where it was.
alone right now, and I need to use the little boy's room, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
I actually
Yeah.
do too, though there may be an important
You'll
question for
You find the book that you wish, Micknick. This is literally a vast library of knowledge. So any books
You
that you all
will
are wanting
find
to
what it is you're looking for.
read up
I do.
on, you're gonna find it. So you can read up on it, but also take this time to discuss in character what you all wish to do, the things that you're thinking, blah 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 blah.
I do actually need
I
to use
have
the
to go
bathroom as
real quick, too.
well.
All right.
Though
BRB
there may
time,
be
everyone.
something
We'll be back in a bit.
there may be something over the table that everyone may want to ask Morgal.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. We are in the library of Oberon himself.
The excited shake of two party members, one of which who can no longer read, and the other one who hasn't seen a library this big in her life.
I wish I could read this all. I really do. I don't have the time nor the ability at the moment, but this place.
Important over the table question. Are the
Hmm.
books in common or are they in Sylvan?
Oh, so glad you asked.
Oh, I have
no!
Sylvan, so
Well, looks like I'm casting a couple of spells here.
no. Would you like comprehend languages?
Yeah, that's kind of what it is I'm having to do.
No, I'm asking Morgul, McNick, etc. if they would like.
Yeah, does anybody
mean-
require
If there is nothing in common, I would definitely appreciate it.
Likewise.
what? Oh, other very important question, because I figured this out. This is kind of an over table question, but
Mhm.
Sylvan spoken, is that different than Sylvan written?
Yes.
In
In certain aspects.
I was gonna say, because primordial is written. Primordial is spoken as primordial.
This
but
is
it
a
written.
specific type
Oh,
of
Yeah.
Sylvan language
Feywild
called.
Sylvan. Or,
This is Feywild Sylvan, but more aptly, Eladrin.
yeah.
okay.
Eladrin, yeah.
Which are, I don't know if you all know what Eladrin.
A certain type of elf
They
that
are.
hails from the Feywild.
Yes, and they represent the different aspects of the seasons. Summer, winter, fall, spring.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Cool. Very nice, very nice. Well, I can't do any searching of spells, so
I guess I will probably be using a couple of my first level spells. The duration of the spell is an hour,
Mm.
and I can cast it 4 times.
So, I mean, if you're willing to do that, Morgul is definitely going to take one of those up.
McNick
I
as
mean,
well.
unfortunately, I don't know if I can do that for someone else because it
You
says.
can.
yep.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Comprehend languages can work on other beings.
All right.
Mhm.
Then I guess I need to cast it all 4 times. We have an hour. All right. Have at.
I offered, but okay.
I mean, if you have it too, then we'll just do 2 and 2. That way we don't have to use up all 4 spell slots if we don't have to.
Fair point.
All right. I will do it once for myself and once for Morgul, and then you can cast it on yourself, more than likely.
I
And
don't think that'll help me.
Well, it might, actually. It'll help you at least comprehend it. You'll at least
I mean-
know that it's not. You have a cipher to decode common, don't you? You created that, right?
I was working with you on trying to decipher my own magical text so I could prepare my own spells once more.
Oh.
That's the problem. He still can't technically
Read anything.
Oh,
Even
you
if-
still can't read it all. Well,
There
I
are
do.
speaky books.
That is true.
Right. I guess I'm looking for speaky books on spells. Hopefully something.
In between everything to help him out, I'm occasionally reading some of the books that he pulls for him to just verbalize them so he can hear it. If they are not speaky books.
Reading and seeking out anything he can on Interplanar, anything, essentially, during that hour.
I mean,
Leon.
there's Critters of the Feywild, there's different elemental arcane spells, there's trying to figure out what the hell Mosper is, there's...
He's literally searching for things on various different planes.
It's basically
Like,
the
just planar knowledge.
There's the occasional love story that Moxie tries to
Roll.
hide.
Morgal, roll a d6 for me.
Okay. Can do. Justin probably knows what I'm getting at with this.
Uh-huh.
5.
You find a book as you are looking through a certain section. It seems as if it's calling to you. And you notice that this exact tome is very dark looking.
It all starts to read.
As
Like,
you
without
start reading
hesitation.
through it, you notice that the text doesn't necessarily make sense, even with comprehend languages. It's as
Like
if
it
it's
seems.
fading. Huh?
Like it seems like a jumble or something, or...
It's almost as if it jumbles up. It doesn't make sense to you. As if when you're reading it, it's trying its best to not be read. But you do read about a couple of different... You notice that it is talking about different dimensions. Not necessarily even different planes of existence, but different dimensions that it speaks of within something called the vastness of the universe.
Interesting.
Something called outer space.
That's above my pay grade.
Yep.
That's way out of my league.
So,
You also read a certain part that talks about a book that was forged in flesh.
Okay.
Necronomicon vibes.
Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead.
But this is not the Necronomicon, it says. It
It's very
speaks,
specific.
it speaks of a sister book to the Necronomicon.
Oh.
There is the Book of the Dead, and then there is the Book of... And it keeps trying to jumble.
Tell me your secrets, Buck. We're all just kind of getting frustrated.
Leon, what are you searching for?
ways to encode magic, speak, or whatever you want to call the technical language of his spells into numbers, or another way of encoding it, for the most part.
You find a book that speaks of only one individual that has ever figured out how to do that. And his name was Niv Mizzet.
Niv Mizzet.
Well.
My stars. That magnificent bastard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean
Interesting.
magnificent.
Wonder how Ravnica's doing right now.
I sincerely hope Niv Mizzet is alright. I did promise him a manicure. Well, it looks like we have an excuse to return to Ravnica once we dispatch these hags.
Well, either way, Leon will be reading up on that for the
what
most
are
part.
you searching for?
Books on healing.
You find a couple. What precisely?
What's that?
What precisely?
Anything at all that I can use to increase my capacity or ability to heal my party.
You read that there is a clerical technique that the Summer Eladrin are able to utilize that vastly helps clerical abilities.
Does it provide any detail, or is it basically just a go see them?
It's basically just a Summer Eladrin will have more details.
Oh, ouch.
So it's like, see Section A, except Section A is in a completely different area.
Yep, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough.
Another thing, while Leon is here, he's going to see if Moxie or anyone else would be willing to help him find something called imprisonment, more or less the spell. He's heard it talked of, but he's looking for that particular one.
Orgal would be very happy to help him on that, if needed, because he knows of his friend's concern and plight.
More or less, he's just looking for a spell for later down the road that I'm trying to go and work in now.
Mick, you do read that this technique is able to help multiple people at a time.
Excuse me.
And that, am I able to tell if it's separate from the mass healing word I already know?
Mm-hmm. It is different.
Well, hot spam.
Excellent.
Cat, are
However-
you gonna sit there and stare at me, or are you gonna get up here?
There's also another little line of text that says very few have mastered it.
Challenge issued.
Miknik closes the book with a resoluteness that many have never seen from him. It says, all right.
Challenge accepted.
Motherfucking challenge accepted, and I put the book back.
Oh,
Moxie, what are you wanting to find?
kind of looking for more spells to add to the list, but I'm also curious about creatures of the Feywild.
You all are finding spell tomes. However, they are locked.
Hmm.
I imagine after his last guest, we aren't actually
We are not
privy to-
trusted with that kind of information. Thereby, I am going to. You can hear her say it. She's not thinking this. Okay. I see. Well, time for the good old feel my way to an answer trick.
I mean, I imagine it's far less that he's keeping us away and far more just he wants to keep them locked. In general.
Fair.
Period.
22 charisma to kind of see what really pulls my interest. Other than the occasional love story, because, well, what bard doesn't love a good love story, am I right?
Ain't the truth, though.
You are drawn to a specific section.
Section.
Of the library, and a book is right there, as it is almost calling for you to read it.
I pull the book out. What is it called?
It is unclear as to what it is, what's written on it. It's more symbols.
Are they written in a language, or are they arcane symbols?
They are written in a particular language. But it speaks of the void.
Oh, I go ahead and open the book and start reading it, or listening to it, whichever it does.
This book, it is also trying to jumble itself. It
Oh, you're
seems
not getting away
very
from me that
much
easily.
like the one that Morgal was trying to read. But it
Is
talks
there
about how the void existed before
Okay,
time and space.
over the table, I just had this image of Moxie pulling a Snape with the Marauder's mat with her. Oh,
reveal
you're not
your
getting away from me
secrets?
that easily. Reveal your secrets.
secrets.
Reveal your secret. As it talks about how the void existed before time and space, how there was nothingness and there still is nothingness. The void always is, and tries to jumble itself again.
Listen, I worship the deity you're talking about here. There is no need to keep this information from me.
Everything all right, Moxie?
The book is being difficult.
Yeah, I know that feeling all too well.
Shot in the dark, but have you sworn you're up to no good?
I swear to you by my oath of the cult of the void, I will not do harm with this information.
Roll a d20.
Shit.
No.
Well, lucky number 7.
The book, the pages go blank as the pages then turn black.
Oh boy.
Master.
Moxie?
Translation? Oh, for table I need.
Are you talking?
It's a library.
I am learning more about the deity that I worship.
No.
You information no have. This book not belong here. As you see it implode on itself.
Well,
Moxie, what was that?
nothing.
Morgal just slowly
fine.
shuts his mouth.
I kind of just wander out and I'm just like, oh, look, another love story. Wait, I think I read this one.
Moxie,
Okay.
I think you've got something on your face.
Yeah.
Morgal, you notice that the book that you also have disappears as well.
Oh, okay. Great.
What is it,
Okay.
Morgal?
That was new.
Book I had just suddenly vanished too. That's fantastic.
2? Moxie, is that what happened to you?
You saw nothing.
Okay.
She is avoiding eye contact with everyone, and she's
Morgal
just
just
like,
looming.
you saw nothing. You saw nothing, you heard nothing.
Well,
don't
I guess I'll go
know.
check on Leon.
Well, these spells are going to be out of my league for quite some time.
Can I
Maybe
look for
can't
some
crack
books?
them.
Yeah, what?
Well, I'd like to look for some spooky books.
Let's
Okay.
I'm looking for 2 books.
Okay.
One of them is a guide to raising and training a displacer beast, or as I know him, Barnabas, and how to
Barnabas.
train him in his origin of heritage and ability. And okay, I'll let you.
You find a book on displacer beasts, and it talks about 2 different lineages of displacer beasts. The Feywild displacer beast, that is what Barnabas is, that has the wings And then the more material plane, displacer beasts, that it talks about how they actually came from the Feywild and how they are able to utilize the tendrils that are attached to their backs to displace images of not only themselves but the surrounding area so that they are displaced.
Okay. And second book, if I can find a ancestral history of Coriamber and his lineage.
All that map.
No records found.
She's trying to find a family tree, as it were.
That's
See?
get it.
Those records are not there.
I find a quiet place amidst the section where the book that I had kind of just went poof. I rolled to pray and got a 16 to see if I could just get in touch with the void to just ask the questions that I had for the book. And then the book just went poof.
Do you want?
I wish to know more about you, Master. Someone had a book in this library and it was not supposed to be here and it then vanished.
I know. I took it.
But I wish to know more about you, Master. How else would I learn?
You are to read your tomes. That is all you need.
As you wish. Thank you.
Now, you have work that is needed.
Yes, I do.
I'm not finished. I will need what you owed me before you left. Your training was not complete.
Very well.
You owe me.
Very well.
You've grown too soft. I am needing what they taught you to give to me. Those portals you've been opening. You've never sent anything in.
Over table she did.
I need fresh. I need pure. I need living. Provide these to me, and you will be rewarded.
As my master wishes, so I shall provide.
If you do not, I will strip you of your rank and your power. Of the void will be cut. Do I make myself clear?
Clearer than you've ever been in my life.
I am done speaking to you now.
Farewell, Master. You can tell there's less color on her face than when she walked away when she comes back.
Moxie, you alright? Anything you wish to speak about?
I have to send living things into portals into the void. or I am being removed from my clerical position.
Right, well, best keep that information from Talia.
So, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we haven't done anything to go and deal with the whole Gully Warp situation.
Yeah, it's gonna come and bite us, I think.
Not to mention we have
Well,
no Clever Claw, and we were going to go off of his aid.
I mean, I think
well,
we'll get
Yes, we
some
had.
favors if we take out this wonderful court, or whatever it is.
Coven.
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 We need to deal with the Coven first and foremost. Gully Warp is...
I mean, there's another C
Yeah.
word that I'd love to use there, but not really,
Yeah, not a friendly word.
Anything further that you wish to discuss as a group?
Well, something else my god said to me was that, my travels have made me soft. I don't know about any of y'all, but I didn't think I'd lost any of that. Turns out, we may have a problem.
Ah,
My
alright.
travels have changed me quite a lot, especially traveling with all of you. That
that was bound to
means...
happen.
Yes, and that means I may no longer be worthy of the power that I possess to open portals into a void of black.
At least
I
until
may
you
no
send
longer
some
be
living.
worthy of that. Also said pure. Therein lies part of my problem.
Uh, you just see
Hmm.
Leon slightly step back. Hmm.
More along the lines of I've been saving children quite a lot lately, and the idea of doing anything about that kind of turns me a bit.
Yeah,
Which
could understand
means...
why.
Which means, unfortunately, I am probably also not a very good companion for Mossborough at this juncture.
And why may that be?
Oh,
Because I may be severed from my contact with the Void. That's why.
Well, that is a problem.
Does that mean that if that does happen, you will be with me still?
Does that affect anything for a otherwise normal gecko at this point?
I am but a gecko. However, I will say that there are people back home that are not happy with you.
There are people who are not happy with me because I have not been completing my sacrifices as is required of me.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm but a gecko.
hmm.
Are you going to become a danger to me if my connection with my religious... or if my religious affiliation changes, does that mean that you are suddenly a threat to me?
Sarah, what you said didn't
I
come through.
don't know what you're talking about.
Am I going to have to worry about you attacking me?
I'm a gecko. I could never hurt you. You would squash me.
I don't think I would squash you. I would
I'm
be
so
worried about...
tiny.
I would be worried about what would happen if you were to, say, shed.
Well, I'd just get a new skin.
One cannot
Right.
put a price on loyalty, no matter how
Anyways,
tenuous that loyalty may be. That
so
was a massive... That...
Hmm.
Poor poor Moxie's mind just completely got whiplashed here.
I mean, think about it.
I mean, it's very fair.
Is he wrong? Is the guy wrong?
No, he is not wrong. But I mean, it is definitely a much bigger change from when she started to now. So that was a massive. That's a giant fork in the road. Stay the course or deviate. We can continue. Sorry.
So what I was saying to Moxie was because you said that you had to sacrifice more living things that would start with the gecko.
Well, you've already essentially gotten the promise of betrayal from said gecko. So I can't say I'm really, blaming Dralia for that stance. But yeah, I think Moxie's got a lot of thinking to do.
Yeah.
Dangerous thinking.
Potentially. Depends on where she goes.
Over a table, I think most of y'all know me well enough to have an idea as to the fact that Moxie didn't look any stronger when she came back, told you something was not going correctly.
Yeah.
Which means, yeah, traveling with you lot has definitely changed her from, yeah, probably making sacrifices every month for the portal she was opening.
Yep.
Yeah, she's probably gonna be godless for a little while. Nothing really to do.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should probably...
We should probably get back to this, whatever this is.
You
Yeah.
see the large bloom come back as you see a Oberon that is reading from a rather large tome and just looks down at you all through. He has like a pair of those glasses that are on the handle.
Yeah.
As he. Well, what are you waiting for?
Can I ask a question? You sit in a giant chair.
Yes, Trollia. What?
So, you take pride in your vast collection of...
I do.
There's no ancestry on the trees. Do you not have history of them?
Titania keeps that information close to her.
That explains a bit.
When she disappeared, the tomes that had to do with the lineage of Coriumber disappeared as well.
Glad I didn't take my time to look up books on her. That probably would have been a moot point, too.
So, if we find her, I can find out more about my family.
Well, it leads me to believe as to why. Why are those books gone? Why is Coriumber the way that he is? Who wanted Coriumber gone and why?
Without Coriumber in the material plane, the area that he was protecting is going to be under siege by a giant blue dragon.
Yep.
Coriumber's roots spread farther than what you all saw. When Coriumber went to the material plane, he said that he was going to put his roots down in every part of the material realm.
Then that means that without Coriumber, pretty much the entirety of the material plane is at risk.
Destabilized.
I do not know if he was able to put his roots down everywhere. But Coriamber has lived for a very long time. However, you all do have an audience with the Summer Court. So, are you ready?
As we'll ever be, I think.
Over the table, Summer Court, is that the same as the Summer Eladrin?
I guess you'll have to see.
I think it'd be the CLA, but whatever way.
As you all are taken away in the large pod plant, it takes you to this rather large courtroom that has the stained glass again and a couple of waterfalls that are pouring down across different tropical pitcher plants that are catching the water. And you see birds that are swooping down into the pitcher plant and bringing up things of water and going across the table and pouring water into everyone's goblets. As you see a couple of there's 5 different people that are seated at the head of this table. Allow me to introduce to the Summer Court what did you call yourselves again?
Bloodborne warriors.
The blood-born warriors. How interesting.
That's a familiar sounding voice.
And who might you be?
My name is Calimax. It's a pleasure to see you.
Calimax. And who are the others?
I am Leon.
Mick.
Morgall Opaltide.
Do you not know who we are?
No,
Ollie,
we do not.
you were not raised in a barn. Yes, you were raised in a tree, but you need to have manners.
Just
You
that-
see that 4 of these individuals are elven looking. Each one looks like they represent a different season. One of them has green foliage that has cherry blossoms that are going across the entirety of their armor. The other one is almost a burnt autumn color as it goes throughout the entirety of their skin. The other one has foliage that is frostbitten, and the other one has what looks like meadows of flowers that go across. And then you see another that sits there, very elven, reddish skin, as his chin comes to a pointed edge. And he is surrounded by flowers that open and look like bats.
Well, I'll definitely have plenty to speak of when I go back home.
Yeah.
Allow me to introduce you. I think you all are aware of whom this is.
Yes.
Do you?
Naphion, Lord of the Bats.
I'm glad that someone has heard of me. These 4 right here are the highest members of the Summer Court. You wished to speak to them, did you not? I
We are
thought that Nathan should be here, primarily because he is as worried about Zybilna as I am. So, Bloodborne, do tell your story and the questions that you ask.
We are enemies of the Cinder Flame, who seeks to rule all realms and all ends of the universe, extinguishing all gods, all life except those that serve him. And in doing so, we have come across your Coven of the Hourglass, whom have since wronged us egregiously. We have all had things taken from us that take away from our identities. And we've met countless others who have had the same happen to them. I, for one, can't control my temper enough to speak clearly enough to say that they need to die. But we can't do it by ourselves.
And how exactly would you like us to help?
Tools, information, locations, anything really.
I know very little of witches and their crafts and their, especially this coven. I have met witches of different calibers, but none to present such a threat as this. That they don't even have to be on the same plane to take away an ability of yours or a person you love or change something about your physical form.
Please, the rest of you, speak up. I
Can't
would
speak
love
for you all
to
the time.
hear from everyone.
I cannot speak for you all of the time.
No, I spoke up with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about you. Come now.
Mogul, Trolia, picnic.
Meanwhile, Moxie's trying not to set the room on fire.
Lady Titania meant a lot to someone I cared about. I wish to see her restored to her position and place. That's
Well,
my
now,
stance in this.
that's new.
Now that is an interesting sentiment. And whom was this person to you?
He was a lover of mine.
And where might this lover be now?
Somewhere out of reach.
Do you know where?
I have an idea. But a bit of an abstract thing.
You see the winter Eladrin. I've often wondered exactly what it is that draws people so much to Titania herself. Did he ever say what it was?
He was rather fond of nature and of its own forms, but I don't know if he felt comfortable telling me exactly what it was.
You see the one covered in meadow blossoms. She says, "Now this lover of yours, gone now as he is he fully gone, or does he still exist?"
Oddly enough, I'd say the answer is both yes and no to that. It's complicated.
It would seem as if He does have something to give. Let's see what the rest of them have to say. You, smaller one, speak up.
Selfishly, I would like to be able to resume enjoying alcoholic beverages again. However, far less selfishly, I want to see the Feywild return to its normalcy, and this witch coven, of course, another C word I'd love to use, but I'll spare you guys. I would just love to see burn, as they're preventing a lot of normalcy here.
The Summer Eladrin this coven has always been in Prismere, as far as we've known, but they've never made themselves known until there was a large pulse of energy, magical, that happened from the material plane.
How long ago was that?
Maybe a few months.
A few months here.
Yes,
It's
I think we know what that
approximately
is.
on the material plane. I think it might have been maybe a few months there as well. What would it have been? I
We
do
were
believe
here.
so.
We had been here for a week and went back to the material plane, and it had been several years.
Oberyn says no. It was something that was taken from the material plane. Once that was taken, and we knew that the energy surge had come from the material plane, it had to have been, right? Well, we wouldn't know, because somebody lost the planar compass. I dare say, Nephion, you are to hold your tongue when speaking with me in that tone of voice.
You say it came from the material plane, my lords.
We
Do you
are
have an
unsure if it came from there. We know that there was an energy surge, and it wasn't within our plane. Something had been taken. We heard word that someone knew some more information. Who was it again? I do believe that you said that it was Talavar, wasn't it? Isn't that why he went off in the first place? Bring him in again. You see the fairy dragon slammed down on the table as stems wrap around and pick him up by his wings. As you see him.
mercy?
Oh dear. Oberyn leans in forward. Now, Talavar, what was it that you heard when you went to Downfall? The information that I told you to try and glean from that scarecrow, that thing. What did you get, information-wise? But he said that his master had recently gotten a hold of something. Something that would change their luck. And what was it? I've never heard of it before. Some strange name. Something called a Sibriex.
Oh no,
Uh-oh.
that's very bad. So,
That's very bad.
Over table, what is that?
oh boy, do we have story time for you. Long story short, that went missing from the abyss. The Sibriex is a vast wealth accumulated across planes of knowledge. To be able to make it move is a level of power almost unfathomable. Tiamat is aware of it. Many other denizens of lower realms are aware of it. The material
For
plane is certainly
those
aware
that
of
have
it.
been watching for a long time, I have been hinting at this for a very long time.
Very long time, since the time that I can't tell you which episode, but the episode where we acquired Draxus, the drow. There is a link for that somewhere that you should go and watch. Hint, hint. But we heard from a demon named the Spine Wrencher that a Sibriex had gone missing. Tiamat is aware, as well as probably the entirety of the Abyss, hell, many other planes of existence, the material plane as well, are aware that it is missing. We thought it had been the Cinder Flame that took it. No, turns out it's these hags.
So you mean to tell me that this Sibriex hails from where?
The
The
Abyss.
abyss.
Neighbor to hell.
This changes a lot of things. We thought that the energy surge had come from the material plane.
There's no telling where it actually came from. I mean, Sibriexes wander the plains, endlessly adding to their stores of knowledge.
Now that is not necessarily true. Sibriexes attain their knowledge, but only whilst chained within the abyssal realm. They are able to project their minds.
So they astral project to gain their knowledge. And someone has physically moved one out of the abyss to here.
That's
Nafion, he looks uncomfortable in his chair when he says, yes.
The thought terrifies us as well. You don't need to hide your terror, my lord.
This explains a great deal, Lord Oberon, as to how the Coven has been able to gain such power as of late. It would appear as if, yes, this might be why. Why would they need it?
Any number of things,
You said
unfortunately.
that the Coven had their hands at the carnival, Morgul. Why?
They were taking things from people.
You
They took
need to be
abilities
more
from us.
specific.
Well, they took abilities and benefits from us.
Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
Well, I mean, what
From
specifically
you.
about Mr.
What
Witch
do
and
you
Mr.
mean from you?
They took my
From
abilities.
anyone else, or just the six of you?
They
No,
took it from
we
others
met-
too.
Others.
We met others like us who had been changed physically, or their loved ones had been taken or changed. Someone's sister got turned into a frog. A normal girl got turned into a centaur.
What does that mean?
What do you mean? What does it mean? A girl. What? We all
No,
got marked.
that. I'm not talking about that. Why were they targeting you?
Everyone was a child built under.
We were all born under the
Born under
same
the-
red moon about
Yeah.
30 years ago.
It is
Anyone that could
The
known
possibly-
question is, why?
because we are the key, the one
Our
and only
bloodline.
key. Yes, our bloodline is the one and only key to taking out the Cinder Flame and its court.
That doesn't have any relevancy to taking out the Cinder Flame. What makes your bloodline so special? Says Naphion. What is it about it? Why?
Need to look at my notes.
If you are even unaware of these things, then we need more information. It would seem as if there is some kind of plot that is happening, revolving not only around whatever your bloodline is, but also you,
I mean, we do
little
have these artifacts.
Fearbold. Your father, Coriumber. Why did they take him? Or was it them? We need these answers, Oberyn. How dare you bring these people in front of us without more information?
For table, guys, seriously? No notes?
I have been trying to find my note. Well, I have my notes in front of me, but finding the specific notes.
Like, yeah, that's kind of the problem.
Yeah.
So, are any of you familiar with Shadowfell?
We know of the plane's existence. We've never been there.
Well, the Witchlight Carnival is currently run by two individuals from that realm, where a mutual acquaintance spent quite a lot of time.
Are you speaking of him?
Yeah.
Him whose name starts with an A and is generally an ass. Yes.
Alder was very interested in the Shadowfell, but we never knew why.
I think part of it is because either directly before or directly after, he split himself into a second piece called Hex, whom the Coven also are in possession of.
We assume.
Oh no, we know they're in possession of him.
Yeah.
We just don't know whether or not Hex was formed before he went to Shadowfell or after.
Well, this isn't really getting us anywhere, is it, Oberyn? I suppose not. Will we lend aid to them? They haven't provided very much information to lead us to believe that they are the key to us helping the realm.
They did also take our memories. They took memories from us when we were children.
Yep.
So we have large amounts of our lives that we do not know. Therefore, no, we do not have answers for you because we don't have the knowledge to give it to you. That's why we're asking for your help in the first place, or we might not be here.
Tell
Together
us
we are
one
strong.
thing. Why do you think these hags want your bloodline? They
Sets
live
of
in
three.
Prismia. They do not
Outside of
reside within the
experimentation, I'm
material
not.
plane.
There was experimentation they were trying to round us up recently for.
Our artifacts are also artifacts of great power.
Now there's something I've not heard.
I
Yes,
produce my book.
and I will produce my.
Everyone?
Time.
Over table. It's like I gave you those for a reason. Okay, there we go.
I brought them up a bit earlier, but that. Yeah.
You did?
We have...
Mhm.
We all have these. One of our friends was turned into a wooden doll and then taken, and his artifact went with him.
Yep.
Yes.
Can you prove that these artifacts do anything?
Laura Toyn, you there?
Alrighty.
Oh, Gabriel, we've got a.
Elenon,
Namara.
my lady, your presence is requested.
You see
Oh,
out of
okay.
your relics, you see them go across the table as they start sprawling out and spinning around on the table. As you see the spiritual manifestations of them come out onto the top of the table, each one standing right near the other.
It's like they've been waiting to do this
Hello.
for the entire session.
Yep.
Say what?
I said it's like they've been
waiting for
waiting.
this the whole session.
It's almost like. Never mind.
We get it. We're dumb. Let's move on.
Ow. Ooh. Laughed too hard.
Hello again,
Pulled a muscle.
Oberon. Well, now.
Hello.
There are some faces that I haven't seen in a very long time.
I didn't
You
realize
see
we were organizing a
Nelmara
reunion.
as she looks around and she never thought that I would see you lot again.
Again?
Are you really that surprised that they met the summer?
Yeah,
No.
honestly, Moxie.
No, but
You see
I
her
like this
her
information.
her ocular lenses start going right onto Nephion as he. You look just as ugly as I remember. And
Mercy!
same to you, you little runt. I dare say, if I had never seen the lot of you again, it would have been for the best. You ruined my tower with your last little episode.
This I have to hear about later.
Towers are easily
No kidding.
repaired.
Well, all of you are just sitting there in your chairs while our friends here are kind of needing some help. But what are you going to do about it? Elenon says, we're waiting. As you see Lord Twain
Woo!
Oh, Lordy.
A good old mystic
Nick looks
flail.
in his bag. You see that some of your hash has been taken. Oh, yeah.
I roll one real
Thanks
quick.
for that, by the way.
Yeah.
I think you owe our friends here little help. Because, yeah, we're with them. You see all of the summer court kind of lean back in their chairs as they... Very well. If you represent them so vehemently, you did help us in the past. But you are also the ones that wrought alder upon this realm. Don't think that we have forgotten about that. That wasn't our fault. So, just cut them some slack. They're still kids. You are, compared to us. Shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not wrong.
Fine. We will lend our aid. You all are now to be knights of the summer court. If you take this for granted and you bring ruin and dismay upon this great court, we will know and exact revenge upon it properly.
Can't say anything and can't respond to that.
You see Lord Oberon as some vines wrap around you all as he starts bringing you close to him and turns each of you around to face him. As you see his face start growing slightly pale and start glowing almost a radiant white. Do you take the mantle of Knights of the Summer Court of the House of Oberon?
Yes.
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 For pirates and knights. Why the hell not? Come on.
Sure, it'll get me some answers.
Very well. Then by the power of the Archfey, I hereby knight you, as each of you feel a branch upon your shoulder. And you see the clothing that you have on start changing. Moxie, your tunic changes into what look like brambles of black and slight hints of purple intertwined into thorns start growing up along it as the cloak behind you drapes down. Your sword turns into a rapier made completely of bramble and thorns. Leon, you start taking on, as you feel this energy start coursing through you, your scholarly robes start turning into different fronds of leaves that go down and drape across like mage robes almost, as you see two vines that come down almost like the tassels of a scholar that drape down across your shoulders. Miknik, you see that you even get what appears to be almost a clerical hat that is completely comprised of rosebuds start forming around your head as they fold out onto itself. And the rest of your garb matches that as well. Tralia, you see that your druidic leather armor starts lining itself with these white petals as they interlap over each other. And you see sprouts of pink, just like the bud from the grandmother.
The grandmother staff.
The grandmother staff.
Wait a second. So do I still have pockets?
Yes.
Does it have pockets? That's
It
important.
does
That is
have
important.
pockets. Yes.
Justin
And finally-
understands.
We are a moderate and very functional group here. We must have pockets.
And finally, Morgal, you feel this oaken armor start forming a tunic around you as it
Oaken
Starts-
plate armor.
coming down upon as a helmet of solid oak drapes down upon, and you have a small visor of just cut out oak where your eyes are, and you see the slits of almost a knight's helmet in the mouth.
I have a pun.
I have a feeling termites are going to be a real bitch in this, but this looks awesome for now.
He is now Morgal, the living oaken shield.
Ha!
Morgal the
You all
Oaken.
see Kai as his vambraces and the wraps that are around his legs turn to vines as they spiral around, as you see these yellow and orange blossoms that match almost the color of his ki energy that start draping down across his tunic as well. You see Barnabas on the armor that he has. You see a plume of purple rose petals that start lining his armor. As Mosper, right on her armor, she has two blue rosebuds that pop up right near her neck as it frills out and forms a collar of blue rose petals. You see Rory as draped over almost like a tropical pitcher plant. You see a large leaf that folds out like this as a luminescent bulb drapes down in front of him as he... Oh, would you look at that? What is that? That is... I'm going to chase it now. Should I chase it?
Might be out for a while, Rory.
Go for it.
I'm going to chase it. Oh, and Leon, yours also, as those drape down, you feel what looks like a pine cone that comes out of the top of your head, turns, and it folds out into what looks like one of those old style little mage hats, completely made of pine cone on the top.
Ooh. I
For a
do
table,
like
thought
this.
it would be a toadstool, not gonna lie, but pinecone definitely works.
And now, you all are the knights of the Summer Court.
So is there like a manual or...
I imagine our sole duty is to go and destroy the coven.
Oh yes, I imagine so, but I'd rather know ahead of time in case I was recommended to read a
A
book on this.
manual.
Oh,
So,
never mind.
at least the certificate, like welcome to the club kind of thing.
I think more they're looking for a code, but
Yes,
that's...
it's
I
a
mean,
code would work.
an order of knights normally has a code of conduct.
Never be cruel. Never be cowardly. Never show duress. And always help the realm.
Oh, that's pretty easy.
And most importantly, always carry yourself with honor. This is the creed that we live by. Even Naphion may look like a terrifying creature, but even he is a nice individual.
You really had to hesitate for that.
For yourself, Oberyn. I
Lord Naphion.
am what?
I said I rather like you.
How delightful. You like me. Everyone likes me. I have patrons too.
Oh, you are an archfey, so...
I never said you didn't.
So, now you all are knights. What is your first course of action?
I have a query. I'm not certain if I'm directing it correctly, but I was wondering.
This sucks that Kai missed this one. You all got fucking knighted
I told him the
by Lord
timestamp.
Oberyn.
I just
You
DM'd him
became.
the timestamp of what he's gonna need to look for
You
all
all
this.
got. Well, I mean, there's a lot of.
There's a lot of
has
stuff he's gonna
happened.
need to look for, but...
There's a lot of little bits and pieces that I've thrown throughout this episode. I don't even think that you all have caught up on some of it. But, anywho. What are you going to do?
I have a query, and I hope I'm directing this correctly. I read in a book back in the Lord's Library about this ability to heal multiple people very effectively. I'd
You're
like to learn
talking
more.
about the Song of Summer.
Okay.
Thorkika. Ustafi asnikushata. Dasvikusukula nishetuku.
It sounds like over table, before I accidentally say that in character. Over table, it sounds like a softer, more mild version of Dothraki.
We can teach you this. But to see if you can master it properly, let's see how well that you do with this.
Very well.
As they... This is a test. Let's see how well that you handle your What did you call it? Mass healing word?
I didn't actually call that, but yes, I have mass healing word.
Let's see how you do with... How many charges of it do you have right now?
Um,
How many times can you use it?
let's see. It is a 3rd level spell, so I can use it 3 times at 3rd level and 3 times at 4th level.
Let's see how you do with an extra charge of it. See what you can do with that for now.
Very well.
And
Andy.
if you can do well with utilizing it, then we will teach you the next step to mastering the technique.
Very well.
Other generous.
Now, mind you, that will not be permanent. We will
Understood.
take it back when we deem necessary.
Understood. I will use it with honor.
Good. Now, the rest of you, do you need anything further?
If I could ever figure out how to read again, I'd ask for some spells from your library, but at the moment I have neither the ability to read or conform any to my own spell book.
There's only one that we know of that has been able to completely rewrite the way that they spellcast. And he is a walker of planes.
So I will need to seek him out, it seems.
Niv-Mizzet the Fire Mine.
Seems the most draconian task.
Finding him, he resides within Ravnica.
Rarely ever leaves.
It seems to be
Not
far out of
my
our path for a
problem.
while.
Oh no, that makes him easier to find. He doesn't like leaving his tower.
Oh, no, it's not that. It's a case of it's far out of our path for now.
Mm.
Well,
You could
thank you.
always go back.
I think we should go and work towards our current goal.
But the strange disposition within the Feywild is the time differentiation between our realm and your original.
Material play. Yeah.
So it might be difficult to pinpoint.
We got thrown 7 years forward last time we left here.
Who knows?
Not to mention we have to find a
shot
way back, but that's beside the point.
Lord forbid we end up going back 30 years. That would be horrifying.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. Even we don't know what happens whenever someone traverses. So,
Yeah.
anything further? Or shall we leave you to your own devices for now?
I've not got much. Moxie, you got anything to add?
Though over table party members can tell that she's still very much traumatized by the idea that she is leaving her faith of 30 years practically.
Is
So there's some serious
Tralia
trauma there.
and Justin
Huh?
over the table if you want to ask Tralia if she has anything, given that she's away.
Hey, babe, you okay? Did you have anything you wanted to add? Oh, okay. No.
And I guess we're good.
Very well. Then we shall put you where you can choose a realm, if you wish, within Prismere.
Hmm.
We will tell you that we know which of the realms that each of the Hourglass Coven has taken hold over. It seems all of Prismia is somehow under their sway right now.
Do you have a particular
However,
suggestion as to who we should hit first?
that is completely your choice. We know that Bavlorna Brightshaw resides within Hither. She resides near Downfall.
So she's
We
closest in
know,
proximity.
we know that her sister Scabitha runs a very strange toy shop within the realm of Thither. An indolent Moongrave. She loves her theatrics in the realm of Yarn.
Hmm. Well,
I'm
we've got a
curious.
toy shop, a theater, and
Curious about
Downfall.
Indolin.
Indolin Moongrave. That
Yeah.
does light a fire, so to speak. Pun partially intended. That does light a fire under my behind a little bit.
our biggest issue is going to be if we don't come and quickly deal with Bavlorna,
Bavlorna.
Bro.
that our, how should I put it, gully warp neighbors will make it more difficult for us on our next approach.
Speaking
So
of, that
I
does beg a question. Oberon, they're still not paying you proper tribute. What are you going to do about that?
And they do refuse to acknowledge your authority.
You are going to go in my stead.
I'm kind of okay with that.
You will either do one of two things. You will broker a peace treaty, or you will exact justice.
Cool with this.
I expect one of the two of those outcomes. If you can think of a third, and it would work to our advantage towards our mutual goal, then by all means, do so.
Hmm. Then it seems we have our path set.
And we have our headway. Let's go.
Let us deal with what
King Gully Warp the 13th.
and then off to Bavlorna.
Bavlorna.
Bavlorna. I don't know. I
There's
keep
a
saying
V
it
in
wrong.
there. Very well then.
So, you wish to go back to Hither?
Yes.
Sounds like a plan. Anyone opposed?
Nope.
I suppose Indolin can wait.
I mean, Gully Warp did say that if we did not come back with something, he was going. Well, he's kind of just an annoyance right now, and we can deal with him pretty quickly and then go after Bavlorna, who is right across the way.
Yep.
Very well.
Very well then. As a portal opens up in a right around the middle of the table. By all means, we expect to hear back from you one way or the other.
Understood.
Absolutely.
We won't let you down.
Oh, Nafion, wouldn't kill you to smile now and then. Jump through the portal.
He is a
Yeah, I'm not
grumfuck.
sticking around for that.
As you all come out of the portal, it closes behind you, and you find yourself back near Downfall as the murky swamps surround you again.
Well, it seems we have a bit of trekking to do.
Yep.
Yep. Before we continue further, though, I do take the weird toy out of my bag and kind of leave it facing down so that the eye can't see me. I heard toy shop. I've been holding on to a strange demon toy. Not necessarily trusting that because I got it from the carnival.
Fair point.
Toy shop is in Tither, though. Tither.
Thither? Yes, but notice they got to us in the carnival without being there.
Yeah.
Lord knows where they have eyes.
True, true.
So, into the dirt you go. I am sorry. Not. I did like the toy, though.
You all hear.
Not a foul misjudgment then.
You see out of the ground.
Childhood toys.
Zzz, zzz, two large eyeballs open up and as they twist around and almost like chameleons start looking at each of you.
Ominous.
You see the outline of a mouth. Hello there.
I
Into you
knew
all.
I shouldn't have trusted that toy.
Burn
I knew
it.
I should not have trusted it.
Oh, come now. You are looking so down.
Everybody, I
love
think we should
a
run.
good story.
We should run.
What happened to the code of conduct, though?
There's a difference between getting stuck in a trap and being cowardly.
I'm just going to say this one time. We've not necessarily met yet, but I know you, children.
More mysterious benefactors, great.
Oh, I'm not mysterious. You know me all too well. My
People are
name
saying
is
that quite often.
Bavlorna. Pleased to meet you.
Well,
Joy.
greetings.
So curious as to why you were just talking to Lord Oberyn.
We had a
You know what?
messenger
Leon-
to return.
Leon, stop talking.
Burn the toy.
I reach my hand into the ground and I cast Fireball.
I back up as she does this.
Fireball,
Likewise.
everybody
Boom!
roll to dodge.
I roll to jump onto Morgul, just to make that perfectly clear. Because my acrobatics is a lot better than my run.
And Leon does not manage to jump out of the way.
I should be okay.
I mean, I did send it into the earth.
Yeah.
Non-nat
But
20.
it's a giant sphere.
That's
It's a
very
sphere.
true. It is a 20-foot sphere, so it depends on how close y'all were to me because I put it in the ground and started moving away.
Non-nat 20 to hop
21.
onto Morgul's back.
21 reflex save.
Leon?
10.
Oof.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ouch.
yeah, you take that, bud. You take it, I'm sorry.
Oh well.
You all see the eyeballs as they turn back into stone.
Well,
Leon,
that did wonders for my
Yes?
rage.
firstly, are you okay?
I'll be fine. He says, patting
Secondly,
out fire.
let that be a lesson, damn it. Keep
Of
your
what?
mouth shut. You know she's
I
our
do?
enemy.
You don't need to tell
Yes.
her everything.
And what did
And
I do by
with
telling her that
I'm going to cast.
we returned a messenger? That's all we did. I am attempting to
But that
follow the code.
doesn't mean she needs to know that. It's none of her God's be damned business.
Exactly. So, Cure
isn't.
Wounds is a touch spell. We know this.
You're
So
gonna slap me.
I touch Leon with Cure
Holy
Wounds.
slap.
Understood.
As I say, let that be a lesson.
I'm going to just benignly say, or benignly ask, do I need to roll the damage or no? No. Okay. That's fine. Well,
As you all sit there, you hear a and from in the waters you see as you see two bullywug guards standing on top of a large creature that is outside of the water. You can only see the front part of its back. Back again so soon, we see.
yes.
King Gullywarp would like to speak with Talibar.
Fortunately,
shall-
he's been.
Yes,
Dang.
well, he's been relieved of duty.
Yes.
Quite. Yeah. Very, very relieved of duty.
Duty.
Yes.
And what do you mean?
Fired? Services
Yes.
no longer needed here? Pursuing
let go.
other adventures?
You mean that he is not present?
No, you have us. Which is arguably worse. So, let us go and see our king.
Yes, we have a meeting.
We have
to
urgent
attend.
business.
By order
We
of
will
Lord
go
Oberon.
speak with him first.
No,
Mhm.
you will go and take us there on the orders of Oberon.
Oberon has no power here.
Yes,
Oh, yes, he
What is
does.
We
We
are
here
his
to bring our
power
peace treaty.
tonight.
You dare to defy King Gullywop the 13th?
You... I cast thaumaturgy to make my voice boom. You dare to defy Lord Oberon?
Oberon has no power here.
Bullshit.
Across the swampland!
There's a sudden boom of cool.
You just hear, oh, shit, 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 shit. And you hear from the distance, really?
I may have just screwed our party over.
I mean, that is a lot of water for it to be traveling across. Not gonna
To be
lie.
fair, I didn't go out directly ahead and say we were a part of Oberon in front of you know who. But no, we just gotta scream it across the water.
Well, also, we are fully armored in gear that is very
We are
obviously
armored in.
In
yeah,
front
we are
of you
clad.
all, you hear as a crack of lightning right in front of you, as you see a crackling energy that starts forming this contorted, spindly creature. As you see, she takes the eyeballs from the frogs as
Oh,
you
guess
see
this is
them
happening.
fall to their
Mhm.
knees as they're holding their eyes, as you see the blood gushing out of their eyeballs. You see the eyes as she starts putting them in, and you see this crackling electric energy as she starts looking over at you all.
Well, it is good to know that you are here in hither.
You won't be for
I'm
much longer.
going to find you.
And that is where we are going to leave tonight's session, everybody.
I'm happy with rapping after I
Mhm.
boomed my voice across the swamp.
Screaming bullshit, shit, shit,
Shit, shit, shit.
I'll just go ahead and say
Thanks
that was my
again,
favorite moment.
everyone, for watching tonight's stream. We hope that you enjoyed yourself. If you have missed any of our previous episodes, be sure to check them out in the link right here. We
Leon,
have
point
tons
down.
of hours of great content for you. There is adventure, intrigue, mystery, heartbreak, romance, so many things for you to catch up on with this odd legacy that we are starting to form here on this channel. I do hope that you all continue to tune in next week. We are trying to aim for Friday, same time, same place.
8 p.m.
And
Eastern
we,
Time.
yes, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We will see you all on the next adventure.
Bye, everyone!
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Gameplays!